Welcome to the Weekly Wisdom, a podcast published by Metis, an Ethereum Layer 2 solution committed to making the blockchain accessible to the people. In this podcast, we'll discuss the ever-expanding uses of blockchain technology, and you'll meet the creators, developers, and thinkers behind some of the most exciting projects in decentralized finance, NFTs, the Metaverse, and beyond. I'm your host, Ashley Spradlin, and this is the Weekly Wisdom. In this episode, you'll hear from Chris and Crystal Tate, co-founders of StarLedger. StarLedger is on a mission to create a one-to-one replication of our galaxy in the Metaverse. They're minting a limited NFT collection of 5,000 stars and have plans to expand their project to truly astronomical heights. The Metis community is completely stoked about the beautiful work coming from their team, and we're thrilled to host StarLedger on the Metis Andromeda network. Whether you're new to NFTs, are already trading, are interested in the Metaverse, or just have a deep love of space, this episode is for you. Here's our conversation. All right, why don't y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves?
I'm Chris Tate. I am CEO of StarLedger.
I'm Crystal Tate. I am also the co-founder of StarLedger with Chris on this amazing adventure.
Awesome. I'm really excited to have y'all on the podcast. So many people on the Metis team have been really excited about StarLedger. And just to kind of give you some context for how I kind of approach the Weekly Wisdom is we really like to talk about new and exciting use cases for blockchain. But I also like to kind of cater to listeners who maybe are brand new to this space. So before we get into like what StarLedger is and everything, I'd like to hear a little bit about your background and how you arrived at this idea.
Sure. I've been a software engineer for 25 years. Most recently, I was a principal engineer over at Like to Know It. And before that, I co-founded a firm here in Austin called Austin Code Shop. It was just basically a software development firm. And I started working with the blockchain probably about 3 years ago, doing some development for it. I've created developer tools, and there's one called Marvelous, which is like a microservice framework, Zap, which is a code generator, and some other cool tools. I'm just obsessed with code. I love making products. I've been product manager for a few jobs, and I really enjoy that as well. And
And so I am also a developer. I'm a front-end software engineer. I most recently was working on blockchain software for private companies to manage their supply chain. And before that, Chris and I co-founded Austin Code Shop, and it was an amazing opportunity to find underrepresented people in tech like me who wanted to become software engineers, get into software. So we would find them straight out of boot camp and just teach them every single thing in our brains. Chris would closely mentor everybody on our team, and we would build just absolutely incredibly large and incredible projects using the tools that Chris created. And we have a toddler who is amazing. That's pretty much us.
That's so cool.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank you.
We're having a blast.
Yeah, we love it.
That's awesome. So I mentioned before I started recording that I've spent this past little over a week here in Denver for the ETH Denver conference. And I've met so many people in this space, and it seems like a really collaborative industry. And that's not really something that I've experienced in every industry that I've worked in before. And I met this man who started a freelancing agency for Black freelancers. It's actually called Black Freelancer. And then Crypto Chicks is kind of our partner nonprofit organization. And part of what Crypto Chicks does is help women find jobs in the blockchain. So I really just love seeing more and more people come into the community aspect of this work. It's really cool that y'all have done that too. And it's led you here. So how did you arrive at the idea for StarLedger? Like, tell us a little bit about what your project is and what birthed this idea for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Crystal subscribes to DevPost, And randomly one day I saw an email for a hackathon. So I was just kind of checking it out and was looking through some other hackathons, and actually, in these 25 years, like I haven't ever really done a hackathon. So I was like, this might be fun. I want to try something new. So I came across the Metis hackathon, and I mean, really, I was blown away kind of immediately by the technology, especially considering the low fees, the fast transactions. The experience I've had with blockchain from before, those are major pain points I've dealt with. And it really causes a bad user experience in most cases. So that's something that was really exciting to me. And yeah, it's really cool that Metis found a way to eliminate that problem. And so once I decided to do StarLedger, I built it in a weekend, submitted it, and loved working with the network, and the whole experience just blew me away. I really had no idea we'd win the NFT track until the very moment when they announced it. So that was really exciting and humbling, and yeah, just been grateful for meeting Metis, and the team and everyone has been so supportive and wonderful.
Yeah, I remember. So I actually joined the team. I want to say that my first day might have been the day that we did like announced the winners for the hackathon. I think that might have been my first day on the team at Metis. So that was my first introduction to StarLedger. And I just remember kind of like clicking on launching the app so I could see what you'd created, and it was so beautiful. Could you explain kind of like the vision of what StarLedger is, and maybe even a little bit of background on what NFTs are and how that kind of plays into your project for people who might not have any idea about, what an NFT is or how it can be used?
Yeah, for sure. So initially it began as an NFT collection of 5,000 stars, which represent stars in our galaxy. And so, since then we've done a lot of work to kind of take that a few steps further. But as far as the NFT side of things, NFT, non-fungible token, what that basically is an asset, a digital asset. Much like cryptocurrency is digital currency, NFTs are basically digital assets that can be bought with crypto. So, I mean, there's really many use cases, but in our particular use case, they're used to buy things for the StarLedger Metaverse, which is something that we are kind of at the forefront now, because we've been working with a team that we put together in the past few weeks. And so it's kind of evolved into this new thing. And so what we would say StarLedger is today is a space themed metaverse, which takes place in our own galaxy, the Milky Way. And so NFTs to us are things that you can buy for the StarLedger metaverse, such as stars, explorers, basically avatars, planets, and even art, photos, comics, music, even furniture. So yeah, it's really kind of evolved from that, but it started off just as an NFT project, which was really cool.
And I do want to talk about the data that we collected. So we did start out with our star collection. And so using the data for each star from, I think, a few different databases, right?
Mm-hmm.
We analyzed star traits. We took into consideration the color, the magnitude, and the stellar classification. And then we brought in an incredible 3D artist and began the process of generating each of the 5,000 stars. And so those have different rarity levels. So you have legendary, ultra rare, rare, notable, and standard. So I think our goal is to build a one-to-one digital representation of our galaxy. And the StarLedger Gold paper that's coming out this week will dive deeper into how we're approaching building and creating the galaxy.
Very cool. Yeah, it's really incredible to see the progress that you've made so far. And just like looking around, being able to kind of like click and drag on the galaxy and see all the different stars that you've already kind of created there. It's really gorgeous. Did you have some sort of like passion for astrology that brought you this idea, or any like horoscope inclinations? Like, what made you think, I really want to make the galaxy?
Yeah, I mean, we have always been interested in space. I wouldn't say like we are very knowledgeable about it. I mean, now we kind of learned a few things,
I
but
think that's why, though. It's so mysterious and
yeah,
ever changing and a little bit magical and unknown, and so we're drawn to it. And yeah, I think that's its allure.
yeah. I mean, just looking at the night sky, I mean, it's amazing. It takes my breath away every single time. I just like, go outside and take out the trash and just look at the sky and see all the stars. It's like so amazing to me. And anytime we have had any sort of business, we would always have like, our branding would be based around space, especially for like all the developer projects. It's just something that we've always incorporated and liked. So it kind of made sense to try making a project that's all about it.
Yeah, our son's name is Apollo, so we do love space a lot.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love that. What a cool name. So you've already done one drop of NFT, or like one mint, right?
We've done 2 now, actually.
Yeah, 2. We had pre-sales, and then we had like an official public mint on February 4th, and then another one on February 15th. And we were, both of those sold out within just like 30 seconds or something. That's really crazy.
Yeah, we typically release stars every Tuesday. Next week, however, we are making a day of it. So we're calling it International Mint Day. And we are dropping 250 stars every 4 hours so that our friends across 4 time zones have an equal shot. Because as wonderful as it was to sell out so quickly, we do want to have a more accessible mint. So yeah, we've just heard from a few people who stay up late or wake up early for a chance to mint, and we're excited for them to have a better shot. And so you can mint at mint.starledger.org. And you can also grab a star on the secondary market on Tofu NFT.
Cool. Yeah, I'll be sure to drop links to those in our show notes. Yeah, we just had Tofu NFT just deployed recently on the Metis network. We're really excited to have that NFT marketplace, and now people can go on and mint a star, trade. That's so exciting. So just looking at the roadmap that y'all have, kind of what's in the future. So after you open into the marketplace where people can trade their stars, what's after that?
So at this point, our team has definitely grown quite a bit. I think we have maybe 12 people all over the world working with us now. We've brought on more developers, 3D artists, writers, illustrators, data scientists, and even a fashion designer.
Yeah.
This will make more sense once we get into what's next for our team. But yeah, our biggest focus right now is creating the StarLedger Metaverse. So our vision is to be able to go into the StarLedger Metaverse with your avatar, which we're calling Explorers, and more on that later. And you'll be on board a spaceship flying through the galaxy, watching your stars and constellation go by.
So just small, attainable goals, as you can see.
That's incredible. I love the big vision, though. Like, it's you've really kind of thought so far ahead. You're creating, I mean, an entire new galaxy. It's really cool. I read something about AR and VR mode. Can you explain what that means?
Sure. So within the metaverse, it's going to be a lot like some of the other metaverses that are out there, in which you can like play on your desktop or probably even your phone, and it's more of like a first-person view. And another thing that we're going to be doing is with the VR side of things, VR mode, we're going to allow people to go into the metaverse with a headset, and they can be completely immersed in this world, or I guess galaxy, that we're creating. And so you'll be on board a spaceship and be able to like look around and interact with things, and have it be very immersive. And not only that, there'll be several views. One will be like a Earth view where you can like look up at all the different stars and see the constellations, much like we have the StarLedger map on desktop and mobile now, where it's kind of more or less like 2D in some ways. Like it's still 3D, but like it's not like fully immersive. This will be something where you can go inside and like you move your head around and you'll see like the Orion constellation or Draco or something. So for the AR version, we want to do something similar in terms of like being able to look up at the night sky and see the stars that you own and be able to connect with them. We'll probably also make it so that you can have it, you know, where the star is, you can hold it in your hand and have the whole galaxy on your table and look around it and get up close to it and interact with it.
Yeah. And then, so while kind of in tandem, while we have teams working on that, I guess the next thing we're going to do is more on exploring the metaverse.
Yeah, so in order for it all to be possible to explore the metaverse, we're going to release avatar NFTs. And these already look incredible. We want a hyper realistic experience. So the avatars look very human. The floor, the walls, and the furniture is all hyper realistic. You can imagine kind of like a PlayStation game or an Xbox game, but you know, more like a social metaverse interactive way. It's not a video game. It is a place where you go and it's a galaxy that mimics our galaxy, and you go and you hang out, and there will be anything that is possible: games, outfits, music, all sorts of things to do. So, and then from there, we're going to launch the marketplace and release official NFTs and exclusive NFTs. The official NFTs are going to be things like the stars, our explorer avatars and planets. So the exclusive NFTs are curated works from talented artists, musicians, authors, and other creatives to bring their amazing work into our metaverse and make it available to interact with. So you'll be able to hang a picture on the wall and listen to music while staring at the stars in the metaverse.
Yeah, and a couple of really exciting things that we're working on. I think Chris mentioned earlier, we're working with a fashion designer. She is working on sleek StarLedger avatar uniforms. And we have an interior designer who's designing the layout, the structure, the furniture of the metaverse, and an exterior 3D artist who is designing the way the spaceship looks, flies, and functions. And, or I guess he's laying it out. Yeah. And so it'll have a loading bay and so much more. So our team is also releasing a Metis comic book series, which explorers can purchase and read in and outside of the metaverse. It's a real comic with a hero's journey to triumph, a woman hero. And we're working with a comic book artist and a writer. And we're just having so much fun.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's a real comic book. It's going to have a really beautiful storyline, character arc, all the things that a comic book has. And yeah, we're just really excited. Crystal came up with this idea a few days ago, actually, and we immediately just jumped on it because we were like, oh yeah, this is amazing. We have to do this.
Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. I love the idea of like a heroine Metis character book. That's so cool. I can't wait to see what comes of that. My background is in education. I've been a teacher for most of my career and in different aspects. But when I hear you talking about your development of just the whole galaxy in the metaverse, I'm just reminded of being in 7th grade and walking into this like big blow up dome that my science teacher set up in the band hall. And we got to like crawl in and lay down, and it projected the stars on this dome above us. And, you know, he would talk about the different constellations, and it was so cool. But to imagine being able to give students the opportunity of like really being immersed in that setting. And I'm just thinking about all the education applications that this could be. Not only are these NFTs like remarkable pieces of art and keepsakes and just like incredible, valuable assets, I can really see a lot of education application for them beyond just the beauty and the entertainment of it, you know?
Yes, you are speaking straight to my heart. I love that that is one of your core memories, because I just feel like we all have a moment like that when we realize there's so much out there to learn about our galaxy. And for me, what I think drives us to run full speed and, you know, have all of these teams working in tandem and just roll with the punches is that I would love to make this accessible. I would love to be able to help get proper tools in classrooms and help underrepresented people make their way into tech, make their way into Web3. I'd love to help discover artists and other creators. I think this is a really cool opportunity to help make Web3 bigger and more accessible and more diverse. And that just makes it all better, right? So that's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's so much potential in this Web3 space to really make it more inclusive and diverse, and to bridge some of the gaps that we've been bumping up against in our more traditional kind of economy and society. And I think that education is the bridge there. So that's why, you know, we're doing this podcast, and that's why I'm so grateful for the work that you're putting in and for sharing it with us here. I know you mentioned your gold paper and some of these things are going to be in it. So I've heard like white paper and yellow paper, but gold paper is new. Is that something that you kind of came up with that's on brand for StarLedger, or is that like an actual technical term I've just never heard of?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just basically something that matches our brand, something that we think, you know, sounds different, might catch more attention, but honestly, it's just something that we think sounds a little cool. So we kind of went with it.
Yeah, I joke that we will never leave well enough alone. And so it also pushes us to make sure that this is our guide, and that we pour every bit of our vision into this so that everyone who believes in this project has just about as much information as we do. Yeah, so it just raises the bar for us mentally, and yeah, we're just working really hard to deliver that. That's coming out this week.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, it certainly is eye-catching or ear-catching. And I love that it helps you keep your focus. It can really kind of like feel the energy behind, okay, we have a vision, let's move toward it. That's really powerful, and it comes through in your work. It's excellent.
Thank you for saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that we can share with our audience about what you're doing at StarLedger or what's coming up for you?
So I think we touched on the Metaverse, the NFTs, and there are a couple other things we like to mention.
Yeah, just maybe what's next, what's the big vision, just like you hear in a lot of other metaverse realms, communities. We'd like to do events in the metaverse, and our dream would be to have a band like Beach House play on the rings of Saturn. I don't know why that's not possible, and I think we'll get there. Our wheels are just kind of spinning at all of the possibilities here. And so, yeah, I mean, we're product people. I think we know, based on our past business with the Austin Code Shop and Chris's experience, I think we're good at finding incredibly skilled and brilliant creators and devs to work with. And Chris is definitely a force multiplier. We're product people. So this is where we live and thrive the most, I think.
Yeah, I feel like we're truly living our dreams, and hopefully it's something that we can share with Apollo, and that he likes it, you know, who knows? But yeah, like I think it's just really cool, and it's fun. Like every single day we just wake up excited and ready to work again. So yeah, we just love it so much. And I think maybe like there will be some visuals that are in the gold paper that kind of help to show what some of the concepts look like. There will be some of the realistic avatars. There'll be some sketches of the interior and exterior of the spaceship. And another thing to mention is that we're coming out with an app that is going to be for your TV, and that app will be called StarLedger Gallery, and that's how you'll be able to view your NFT stars and other NFTs that you get from the StarLedger Metaverse and Marketplace, and bring it into your living room.
Yeah, so it could be behind you on your Zoom calls, and you could flex in front of your friends.
Oh man, that's so cool. I definitely want front row tickets to that concert on the rings of Saturn. That's incredible. So being at this conference in Denver and learning about all the different projects and use cases for blockchain technology in general, but my mind has really been expanded with the whole concept of the metaverse. I think previously, before joining the Metis team, I had this this idea that it was just taking out like the face-to-face contact that people have, like living in some virtual world and having less and less human-to-human connection. But really, my perspective now is just that it's expanding the opportunity for connection, and it's having a space for people from anywhere in the world, from any kind of background, to have the same access to quality education and community that people wouldn't really have otherwise. So it's really exciting to see what you're doing and how you are magnifying your vision to be inclusive and to reach as many people as possible.
Thank you so much. I really have been thinking a lot about that. I was listening to a podcast with Betty NFT from Deadfellas, and she was talking about that. I originally thought that everyone needed to be doxxed, and there was no good argument for not being doxxed. But I have learned so much that it allows us to have an equitable community and to have that level playing field for creators, for developers, for people who are entering the space and just trying to get comfortable without any of the other cards that we typically have stacked against us as people in any space. So yeah, I think that's really exciting to me, and I've learned a whole lot that it just makes my heart happy.
Yeah, at first I really didn't understand the concept. For anybody who's listening and doesn't know, if you're doxxed, then like your personal identifying information is available to the public essentially. So people can see who you are. And in the Web3 space, there are a lot of people who choose to remain anonymous, or they use an alias or something of that nature. And at first I didn't really understand, especially considering, if you're looking for investors, there's definitely an element of trust. It's no secret that the crypto industry doesn't always have the best reputation in spaces where people don't necessarily understand the capacity of the technology. But the unfortunate truth is that is a position of privilege. And for many people, only putting forth the parts of themselves that they want to be known for is a real advantage. So I definitely understand the value of it now, even though in the beginning it felt strange. This has been an awesome conversation. Is there anything else y'all would like to share before we stop rolling?
No, it's just thank you for this podcast. It's actually the first podcast we've ever done. So
in this, it seems like it's been years that we've been working on this project. It's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
In NFT time.
Yeah.
So we're really excited and grateful of your time, of course, of the support of Metis. It's been absolutely just wonderful. We're just so grateful. The community is so awesome.
Yeah, they make us like, they're reason why we're reaching for the stars and trying to like do the best we can to, give this thing that can help people connect, help people immerse in this amazing galaxy, universe, whatever. We're just so thrilled that people like it and that they are enjoying it. And that just fuels us even more every single day.
Awesome. Yeah, our community is so hype about StarLedger, and it fits so well with our Andromeda network. So really excited to see Tuesday, everybody. So that's when your next round is, right? Every Tuesday you release new stars. So, and the next Tuesday you said was your International Mint Day?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cool. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, fam, thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Weekly Wisdom. Be sure to check out our show notes to learn more about our partners from today's show. There, you'll also find links to resources to connect with the Metis team, learn more about our permissionless platform, and connect with us on future podcast content. We would also love for you to take a moment to rate and review this podcast to support our mission of bringing blockchain to the people. Until next time.